Hi, I'm Jeff Richards and welcome to Japan Today Spotlight, where we go deeper into the headlines you know and some you might have missed. Question: would you live in a house or an apartment where someone had died by suicide or even murder? In Japan, these are called Jiko bukken, stigmatized properties, and they often rent or sell for 30 to 50% less than market value, and there are plenty of them available. Many Japanese avoid them for cultural reasons or superstitious reasons, believing they're haunted or bring bad luck. So, real estate agents often struggle to find tenants or buyers. And under Japanese law, if someone has died at a property, that information must be disclosed. In this week's edition of Japan Today Spotlight, we look at Japan's ghostliest real estate problem and the cultural and legal issues behind it. The term Jikobuken is usually referred to in English as accident or stigmatized property, where something unfortunate occurred. It's not just homes where murders or suicides occurred. These properties can also include places where someone died in a fire, had a heart attack in the bathtub. They can even include properties linked to cults or criminal gangs. So it's easy to see why some people might hesitate or outright refuse to move in. Jikobuken became more widely known in Japan after the 2020 horror movie Stigmatized Properties came out. It follows an unpopular comedian who moves into these kinds of homes and starts experiencing disturbing supernatural events. By law, real estate agents in Japan are prohibited from intentionally withholding facts about the properties they're selling or renting. They must disclose deaths involving foul play, and all deaths, regardless of the cause, if tenants ask. Now, that's the key point there. Only if tenants ask. There's also a website called Oshimaland, run by Teru Oshima, that provides crowdsourced information on stigmatized properties across Japan. It was launched about 15 years ago. The site features an interactive map dotted with fire icons. Click on one of these icons and it reveals what happened at that location, along with comments from users who may have lived there or heard rumors. It currently lists around 50,000 properties, so I got to assume there's a lot of rumors. That doesn't mean there's an epidemic of hauntings or murders. One big reason is Japan's aging population. More elderly people are dying alone at home. And yes, you can visit Oshimaland right now. Search your neighborhood and see what's happened nearby. You might even find a listing for your own apartment building. It's not really for the faint of heart, especially if this kind of thing unnerves you. We'll put a link, but be careful. You might find something rather unfortunate happened in your area. Oshimaland is just a website. It's not a real estate agency. But Tokyo-based Jobutsu Fudosan is, and it specializes in Jikobuken. The agency says many of its clients are young people or older adults living alone, anyone looking for a real bargain. Now, disclosure laws like these aren't unique to Japan, but Japan's approach is more structured than other countries. In the United States, some states like California require sellers to disclose any death in the home within the past 3 years, while other states don't require disclosure at all. In Canada and the UK, sellers often only have to answer truthfully if asked. And in Australia, Deaths generally do not need to be disclosed unless they affect the property's value. So while the stigma around death varies from country to country, Japan stands out for how formally it treats these details, especially when it comes to supernatural or spiritual discomfort that might arise. Some Jiko bukken are actually quite famous. The 2DK condo in Zushi City, Kanagawa Prefecture, once owned by Nobel Literature Prize winner Yasunari Kawabata, who died there of gas inhalation in April 1972, was quickly sold after it was listed. Others are far more difficult to move. The house where a family of 4 were murdered in Tokyo's Setagaya ward on December 30th, 2000, has remained vacant ever since. In some cases, these homes may never sell and eventually get torn down. In unsolved murder cases, relatives of the victims often don't want the home put up for sale or rent until the killer is caught. Perhaps this stems from a spiritual belief that the victim can't cross over to the other side until justice is done. If you do decide that a Jiko bukken is right for you, don't worry about seeing bloodstains or physical signs of what actually happened there. Real estate agencies hire specialist cleanup companies, and they do a pretty good job. Your biggest concern will likely be your imagination. One company, Kachimore, which launched 3 years ago, even offers what they call ghost investigation services for prospective tenants and buyers. They bring in video cameras, thermal sensors, an electromagnetic field meter, air pressure gauge, thermometer, and IC recorder to take hourly readings. If they detect no paranormal activity, they give the property a green light. If you're surprised by a rent in Tokyo or elsewhere in Japan that seems too good to be true, remember, they're required to tell you the history, but only if you ask. And one more thing. If you're a foreigner, married to or living with a Japanese partner, do not be surprised if they feel very strongly about a property's past, even if you're skeptical. Some Japanese people believe that living in a Jiko bukken can invite unhappiness into their lives. So, what about you? Have you ever lived in one of these properties? If you did anything strange happen, or did your mind start playing tricks on you? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching Japan Today Spotlight, and from the Japan Today newsroom here in Tokyo, I'm Jeff Richards. See me next time.